Yeah.
Awesome. Good morning. Welcome to Saturday morning yoga. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully today's flow will be great at waking up your body, all throughout the spine. We're gonna go ahead and start on our backs today. So just gently making your way to your mat, rolling yourself down. Maybe as you have just been sleeping, coming back to this lying down position, allowing yourself to feel very comfortable here. Maybe readjusting the shoulder blades to come right underneath of you, opening the palms up towards the sky, and welcoming a nice deep inhale, expanding through the belly, the rib cage, the chest. Maybe holding the breath in for a moment before slowly pushing all of the air out. Noticing if you're holding any tension, perhaps in the face, maybe emotional tension. Just coming to observe where you're at today without judgment, just observation. Reminding yourself for this practice to be patient to your restlessness, be kind to your body, be grateful for the opportunity of being here just now. A deep breath, inhale, bringing you into this present moment. Exhale, relax in this present moment. Feel driven by the unique chance to learn a little more and to know yourself a bit deeper. Letting the world fade away around you. As just for this practice, you become fully aware of your inward space, of your body. Another deep inhale will rise the arms overhead, full body stretch and lengthen. Reach the toes away. And coming to hug the knees in towards the chest. Maybe an inhale to rise the forehead to touch the knees, really rounding, hugging close into the body before releasing the head down, giving yourself a little rock here side to side, massaging the low back. And coming to back through center, extending the legs all the way straight up to the sky. You can grab hold of the shins, of the ankles, or maybe even the big toes, trying to keep the whole back flat. Feel free to keep a bend in the knees here, maybe even bend and straighten the knees one at a time. Or bring some ankle rolls here, rolling into the ankles, switching direction. Maybe even wiggling the toes a little bit, not forgetting about those extremities, bringing our vision to them, really feeling into these ankle rolls. We're going to go ahead and start to bend out the knees, bend into the knees, bringing them out wide, grabbing the outsides of the feet. A happy baby here. So again, the whole back is nice and flat and long on the mat. We're trying to pull those knees down towards our armpits. You can even kind of bend and straighten into the knees here a bit. If you're looking for some more movement, even do a little rocking side to side. We'll come back through center, extending the legs up to the sky. We're going to grab one ankle, one calf, and let the other leg hover, fall above the ground. Single leg switches will tighten the core, roll up off the shoulders, kind of gaze forward. and switch the leg, single leg switches. The leg that's dropping just stays at a hover. We're really starting to engage into the core, bringing our awareness into the core, feeling the belly button pulling in towards the spine. Really trying to pull that leg in towards you, get a nice stretch. Beautiful. And taking one leg left or right, just know which one. We're going to lay down, one leg extended up, the other leg down. And we're going to take it right out to the side and maybe keep it straight this time, kind of seeing how far to the side you can get this leg. Also, maybe how far up close you can get it by your ear. So really getting a good stretch into the hip here. Maybe even using that opposite hand to press down the opposite leg, making sure your hips, your sit bones are square on the ground. We're going to take this leg, cross it all the way across the body, coming into a spinal twist. Feel free to open the arms out long here. We're trying to keep both shoulder blades planted while bringing that knee down to the ground. This is a deep spinal twist, so if you don't want to go all the way deep, just take it gentle for now. That's all good. A deep breath in to expand through the belly. And pushing the air out, navel draws towards the spine. Getting some fresh blood into those digestive organs. We're going to take the knee back through center and switch legs. So letting that leg that was just crossing down, and we'll extend the other leg up to the sky. Taking this leg out to the side and kind of pulling it up by your head at the same time. Maybe noticing how this leg is different from the other side. We'll take the leg back through center and we're going to cross it all the way over the body. You can keep the leg straight, maybe bend into the knee. Taking a spinal twist here, turning your gaze opposite of the knee. And again, just breathing deep into the belly here. All those digestive organs are down in there. The inhales expand. And the exhales draw the belly back in. Releasing from this twist, coming back through center. We'll go ahead, plant the feet, knees pointing up, arms by your side. We're going to kind of tuck the pelvis under, whole back is flat, and starting from the hips, lift vertebrae by vertebrae up into a bridge. The weight coming back onto your shoulders, your neck is nice and long. Maybe you even take the arms overhead. I always feel like this feels much nicer. And we'll release vertebrae by vertebrae back down onto the mat, the hips. 2 more times with your breath. The inhale will rise the hips, tucking the pelvis, lifting into a bridge. Squeezing the glutes. Exhale, release the spine all the way back down. Once more. Inhale, lift through the hips. And exhale, round, release all the way back down. Beautiful, hugging the knees in towards the chest. Maybe just rolling those hips out, drawing circles with the knees. Switching direction. We're going to go ahead and prepare for some roll-ups. So hugging the knees in, maybe your hands by your side. We're going to try to pop the hips and swing forward with momentum, kind of into a seat. We're going to work it up into a chair pose. So if you need to do a few, just coming to a seat. Before you feel like maybe you want to challenge yourself, planting the feet. Oh, sorry, peeps. Planting the feet, sitting up into a chair pose. Maybe bringing the big toes together, heels apart. If you can't do that, just try to stand your way up. That's okay. Sitting it down into a chair, tucking the pelvis. We sit low, arms by the ears. Maybe sitting a little bit lower here. really drawing those shoulders away from the ears, engage through the core. And we'll release, taking a standing, arms by your side, find a standing mountain pose. Maybe readjusting the feet here to be about hip distance, finding a nice tall posture. With confidence, a deep breath rises the crown of the head taller. And an exhale relaxes the legs, grounds through the feet. We're gonna go ahead and just kind of flow through easy sun salutation, kind of pausing in our dangling for a bit. We'll inhale, reach arms overhead, gaze up at the hands. Exhale, hinge forward, folding from the hips, maybe bending into the knees. We're gonna find a nice forward fold. We can release here into dangling, so really generously bending into the knees, letting the upper body be super heavy. Let the head hang, shoulders hang, arms hang. You breathe deep and expand through the rib cage and the belly. And on the exhale, allow yourself to relax a bit more. On the inhale, we'll rise halfway, lifting straight spine, long spine, really sticking, kind of like really feeling a flex through the hamstrings here, nice straight hamstrings. We're gonna fold, plant the hands, step it back into a plank position, and we'll drop the knees here, getting into some spinal movement. We're gonna do some cat-cow. So on the inhale, you can flex the toes, drop the navel down, open the chest, gaze up. And on the exhale, you kind of press those shoulder blades apart, pull the navel back up into the spine, release the toes, pull the chin in towards the chest. Inhale, pull the chest through, lift the pelvis up in the back. And exhale, round it out. If you'd like, you can start to add some circular motion here to even get into the side body a bit more. Starting to synchronize this movement with your breath, whatever feels natural to you. We'll start taking some body circles in one direction, kind of bringing the chest down and around, up and over, and switching directions, kind of body circling the other way. Wonderful. Coming back through center. We're going to go ahead, allow the hips to fall all the way forward, squeezing the glutes here. We're falling into our cobra. So feel the shoulders drawing down and back, really opening that heart center up to the sky, gazing forward, feeling the hands sliding back as the pelvis slides forward. Cobra here. If you'd like to come up into the upward facing dog, pressing into the palms and lifting the thighs off the ground, whatever feels best for you this practice. And we're gonna, actually we'll release the knees here. So if you're an upward dog, release the knees. We're gonna press it back into a child's pose, rounding again through the spine. Inhale, rounding forward into a cobra, squeeze the glutes here, protect the low back. Releasing back into child's pose. And rounding forward, spinal waves. We'll go back into child's pose one more time here. Pushing the hips back, take your time. Really feeling into the spine here. And as you come back into your child's pose, we'll tuck the back toes. Maybe just take a moment to really stretch into those toes, into those feet. And then we'll start to extend the knees straight, coming into a downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling the feet out here, really lifting those hips as high as you can, allowing the heart center to be open. The shoulders are kind of pulling back into their sockets. And yeah, just take a nice deep breath here, filling up through the belly. Maybe a loud, audible exhale out. We'll just take some 3 spinal waves here. You can take these as deep as you like. Inhaling, weighting the spine forward. You can come into plank or even drop the hips all the way down, extend the heart open into a upward facing dog, and lift it back into a downward facing dog. So whatever feels good, however big you like to make these waves with the spine. We'll do one more wave forward and take it back to our downward facing dog. Beautiful. We'll lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. You can step or even try to take a bit of a hop towards the hands, releasing into a fold before inhale, rising all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your heart center or by your side. Take a moment, let the blood settle. We'll go through one more round of a sun salutation, a little bit of a faster tempo, but really whatever tempo you'd like. Each movement synchronized with a breath. We'll inhale, rise, arms overhead, gaze up. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lengthen, straight spine. Exhale, plant the hands. We take it back into our plank. We'll inhale, lengthen and plank. And then exhale, shift forward onto the toes, bending into the elbows 90 degrees. We take a low chaturanga push-up. Inhale, press the chest, open and up, upward facing dog. And exhale, push the hips back, downward facing dog. One deep cleansing breath here. A refocusing breath, a recentering breath, coming back to this present moment. We'll inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or float your feet up to your hands, releasing into a fold. Before inhale, rising all the way up to standing. And exhale, hands by your heart or release by your side. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and start into a flow on both sides. We're going to start with crossing our right leg over the left leg. Inhale, reaching the arms overhead, left hand grabs the right wrist. And we're just going to take a gentle side bend out to the left. Really breathing deep into this right side body. Maybe turning the gaze up under the armpit. Coming back through center. We'll exhale, release into a forward fold here with crossed legs. We're going to inhale, maybe halfway lengthen, a funky transition into pigeon. So keeping that right foot that's in front exactly where it is, we're going to send the left leg all the way back behind us, bending into the right knee. We lower the hips down into a pigeon pose. We really want to try to square the hips forward, try to feel that right left hip, the left hip coming down. We find a pigeon here, maybe allowing the upper body to fold over the leg, the bent knee in front, the shin, feeling it really into the glutes, into the hips. We'll inhale, rise up with the body, and we're going to turn to ground through both sit bones. So turning towards the right foot, opening up with this left leg, so the knee and the toes turn up. We'll inhale, reach arms overhead, and take a nice deep side bend. The left elbow comes inside the left leg as the right arm goes overhead, trying to reach for those toes. We're really trying to shine that armpit up towards the sky, turn the gaze up. Another deep breath into the side body. And exhale, we'll come up. Release the right hand right behind that right hip. And we're going to send the hips up to the sky. Maybe reach with that left hand before releasing the hips down and turning, pivoting the hips forward like we were just in pigeon. Perfect. So coming back to our pigeon, we plant the hands, tuck the back toes, and you might need to readjust here a little bit to find this stretch. We're just going to lift and straighten through the right leg, keeping it crossed over the body. And we really want to feel a nice stretch down the outside of the right leg, finding an IT band stretch here. Really squaring those hips down. Preparing to move into a warrior, a three-legged dog. We'll take this right leg, sweep it up and back, rise it up high, three-legged dog. Inhale, draw the knee in towards the right elbow, really engaging through the core. We extend back up into three-legged dog. Draw the knee in towards the left elbow, engaging through the core. Extend back into a three-legged dog. And then we'll draw the knee in towards the chest, really rising high onto those back toes. We're going to step the foot in between the hands and rise into our high lunge. A nice deep bend in the front knee, straight and active back leg. We're going to inhale, just kind of open the chest here and straighten the front knee. So straightening the front knee, we open the chest. And then exhale, we bend into the front knee, take a twist, left hand reaches forward, right hand reaches back. Inhale, straighten through the front knee, we come back through center, arms overhead. Exhale, bend into the front knee, take a twist. Inhale, we rise. Straight, one more twist here, bending into the front knee, twisted high lunge. And we're gonna take it all the way into our warrior two. So windmilling the arms, we're going to pivot the back foot, ground through that back heel. We find a warrior two, opening the hips towards the long edge of the mat. The back toes are facing the long edge of the mat. And we bring our gaze over the front fingertips. This is a really strong glute exercise. You want to feel the pelvis tucked and the glutes really engaged here to really help you get deeper into these hips. Beautiful. Another deep breath here. Inhaling. Exhale. We're going to straighten through the front knee, bend into the back knee as we sit the hips down into a low skandasana side lunge. The right front toes flex and the knees and toes point up to the sky. Feel free to ground through the hands. Use any blocks or support or props. Gently pressing up into this left knee, we're going to find a wide-legged forward fold towards the wide edge of the mat. Slightly pigeon-toeing the toes a bit towards each other and really hinging from the hips. Feel lengthening through the spine. Feel elongating from the low back as you fall, the chest falls forward. Inhaling, hands to hips. We rise all the way up. Turn the heels in, toes out, and sit the hips down into a nice goddess squat here. Feel free to do any expression with your arms and hands. Maybe a lotus, heart. We'll extend straight through the knees. Pivot the front toes forward to the front of the mat, and the back toes are going to face the long edge of the mat. Our arms come to a T. We're going to inhale, reach the fingertips forward, hinge over the side body, finding a Trikonasana triangle pose. Really try to make a 2D shape, nice and long and strong through the side body. Bending gently into the front knee. We're going to ground through the right fingertips and lift off into our half moon. Keeping shoulders and hips stacked. Find a nice balance here. Maybe try to challenge your balance by turning the gaze up towards the sky. And we're going to release the left hand down, the hips square out, keeping that back left leg straight and extended, flex through the heel, and really try to extend long through the spine, like the head is reaching opposite direction of the heels, nice and long. If you like, you can try to lift off the hands and find a nice warrior three. Trying to keep both knees straight, but feel free to keep a micro bend in that bottom leg. We're going to gently step this back foot back into a warrior one. So it's a bit of a shorter stance than a high lunge. And the heel is grounded. The toes are turned 45 degrees out towards the left corner. And we're going to bend nice and deep into the front knee. So we're going to find a warrior one. The hips are square forward. You should really feel it in the calf. It's a really deep stretch. We'll inhale, interlace the hands behind the back, draw the fist down as the chest opens, and then exhale, let the heart fall down inside of this front right leg. Ultimately, we want to try to get this right shoulder right inside the right knee. Maybe a gentle bend in the elbows as you really send that fist overhead, getting into the shoulders. A humble warrior. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead, inhale, lift it back up, straighten through the front leg, and we're going to take a pyramid fold. This is a pretty short stance of a pose. So if you want to shorten the stance a bit, the back foot is staying angled out towards that left corner, hips square. And we're going to extend long, pop the hips out, take a pyramid fold. Feel free to use blocks here. Just try not to fold through the low back. Try to make sure it's all through the hips. We're going to plant through the hands, lift off the back foot. A few shrimp squats here. So we bend into both knees, bring that back left knee in to touch the bottom calf and extend it back out, warrior three. Bending into both knees, the back knee comes in, touches, and extends back out. One more here, bending into the standing leg, bend into back leg, we shrimp squat, and extend it back out. Send this left leg all the way up into the sky as far as you can, letting yourself fold over the standing leg. And we'll release the left leg down. Finding a forward fold before standing all the way up. Wonderful. Maybe shaking it out a bit here. We're going to go ahead and take it to the other side whenever you're ready. So allowing the left foot to come over and cross in front of this right leg. Inhaling, reaching the arms up. The right hand grabs the left wrist and we take a side bend, gazing up, breathing deep into the side body. Inhaling back through center, and we'll exhale, hinge forward, take a fold. From here, we're doing our funky transition. That front left foot stays exactly where it's at, and we kick the right foot all the way back, bend into that front left knee until we sit our hips down, really squaring the front hip, squaring the hips forward. And just coming to find a pigeon that feels comfortable, a little sensational to you. Maybe a nice deep inhale before allowing the chest to fall over the front leg. Inhaling back up. We're going to go ahead and pivot, put the sit bones down, and we're taking a nice deep side bend overhead. I'm going to turn to face you. So inhale, arms overhead. We'll exhale, right arm inside the right leg as the left fingertips reach towards those toes. And you want to feel like the chest is opening towards the sky. Like you're not collapsing through the back here. You're really pulling that shoulder back and open, turning the gaze up. Inhaling. And we'll exhale, come all the way back up, plant the left hand right behind the left hip. Inhale, lift the hips here, maybe reach the right arm back and overhead. Before releasing down, we're going to pivot our hips central again, back forward to be in our pigeon pose. And preparing for our IT band stretch, we plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift the hips and straighten through the front knee, really allowing a nice stretch through the outside of the leg. Moving gently into our three-legged dog, we sweep this left leg all the way up and back, three-legged dog. Inhale, draw the knee in towards the left elbow and swing it back up into our three-legged dog. Drawing the knee into the right elbow. Back into our three-legged dog. And one more time in towards the chest, really pulling that knee in towards the chest, rising high onto the right toes. We step the left foot in between the leg. We're coming into our high lunge, so maybe just making sure you're feeling really nice and strong through the legs before rising up into a high lunge. We'll inhale, straighten through the knee, kind of reaching the arms up, maybe opening the chest. And we exhale, bend into the front leg. Right hand comes forward, left hand comes back, twisted high lunge. Inhale, rise, straighten the front knee. And exhale, bend, twisted high lunge. Inhale, rise. And exhale, one more twisted high lunge. Really get low in that front knee. Straight and active through the back leg. We're going to pivot into our warrior two, windmilling the arms into a T. The back heel grounds and the toes point towards the edge of the mat, the long edge of the mat. Warrior two. Try to get, if you have long legs too, you might really want a wide stance on this so you can get a deep bend. The front knee should be stacked directly over the front ankle. You really want to feel like your hips are square in line with the long edge of the mat. You should feel like they're both equal distance from the long edge of the mat. Beautiful. One more inhale. And we'll exhale, straighten through the front knee, bend into the back leg. We're coming to sit down into a low skandasana side lunge. Maybe pushing that right knee out with your elbow, flexing the left toes. And we'll straighten through the back leg, coming to find a wide-legged forward fold. We pigeon toes, so slightly angle the toes a bit towards each other, maybe helping your hands on your hips to really emphasize the hip fold here as you find a wide-legged forward fold. Let's turn to face you. Inhaling, rising back up. We turn the heels in, toes turn out, and we sit the hips nice and low into our goddess horse pose. Tucking the pelvis under. One more breath here. Inhale, sink it a little bit lower with the hips. And exhale, we rise, bending, straightening through the legs. We're going to turn the front toes forward and the back toes turn to face the long edge of the mat. Arms coming to a T, Trikonasana triangle pose. We're going to pull the fingertips forward and tip over the side body. We're trying to make a 2D shape with our body, shoulder stacked, hips stacked, long, strong side. Maybe turning the gaze up towards the thumb. We slightly bend into the front leg, ground the left fingertips in front of the left toes, lift off through the back foot, and we're finding our half moon balance. Really flexing through that right foot. And then we're going to turn, pivot the hips down. You can ground through both hands. We're finding a warrior three. So our hips are square towards the ground. Both legs are trying to extend straight. Really extending long through the crown of the head and long through the heel. We maybe lift the hands off the ground. Whatever you'd like to do with your arms here, you can bring them into prayer, take them out to the side. A challenge sometimes is to have them out in front of you extended. And we're going to bend into this front knee, finding our warrior one. The whole back foot will ground. The toes point towards the right corner, 45 degree. And we're going to bend nice and deep into this front knee. Trying to get the knee to bend 90 degrees while squaring the hips forward, interlacing the hands behind the back. Inhale, draw the fist down, open the chest. And exhale, allow the chest to fall inside of this front left leg. Also really focusing on that fist going overhead, seeing if you can get a good stretch into the shoulders. Inhale, rising up. We straighten through the front leg. Maybe hands come to hips or maybe behind your low back as we extend long through the spine and take a fold into our pyramid. Feel free to shorten the stance for this one. Feel the left hip drawing back, right hip draw forward. You can even ground through the hands, use some blocks or books under your hands. We're going to go ahead, plant the hands in front, lift off the back leg. And we're just going to bend into both knees. I call these shrimp squats, that's what I learned. I'm not sure what they would call them. In yoga, we take the back knee in to touch behind the other knee, the standing knee, and extend back out to warrior three. Bending into both knees and extending it back out, warrior three. One more time, we bend into both knees, feel the burn in that standing left leg, and extend it back out. Standing splits, allow the chest to fall over the left leg as the right leg reaches as high as you can, up into the air, stretch it out. And we release the right foot down. Ooh, take a fold before rising it up into standing, maybe shaking it out a little bit. Wonderful. Taking a moment in your standing, we're going to come to find a squat. So taking the feet out towards the edge of the mat, take them wide, especially if you have tight hips, it might help a bit. And turning the toes outward. We're going to go ahead and sit the hips down, pushing the knees away, and really stay strong and lifted through the glutes here. Maybe even take your hands behind your back for an extra challenge. And see just how much you can allow the hips to relax here. So maybe taking 3 or so breaths. Check the time, perfect. With every exhale, envisioning tension and negative energy releasing from the hips, feeling them relax. We'll slowly release, grounding the hands behind you, release the sit bones onto the earth. Beautiful. We're going to just come here to some seated cat-cow. So planting the whole feet on the ground, knees pointing up, you can kind of just grab the front of your knees. We're going to go ahead, sink the shoulder blades apart, kind of round through the spine, tuck the chin in towards the chest. And then inhale, draw the chest forward and up, elongate through the spine. Really pull the shoulder blades back. And then exhale, let the air out. Round through the spine, draw the belly button in. Inhale, rise tall. Beautiful, releasing. We're just gonna lean back into a boat pose here before we finish off. Just 2 more things or so. We're gonna lean back with the upper body, maybe lift the feet off the ground. Shins can come parallel. If you feel comfortable and this is our boat pose, you can always straighten the legs. We're gonna do a 5-breath hold of our boat pose. And you'll want to think of really trying to shift onto your sit bones instead of sitting on your tailbone. That'll help you keep a nice long straight spine. It's a bit more challenging, but will also work your core a lot more. Just 5 mindful deep breaths. Maybe really tuning into your core. You can even look at your core. And we'll slowly release bottoms of the feet together, knees turn out, and we'll take a butterfly. And you can kind of experiment with what feels good here, drawing the feet either closer towards you or further away, and maybe using those elbows to press into the knees. A deep breath here. Knowing that the practice is winding down. So just slowing down your breath, slowing down the heart rate here. You can allow yourself to relax even the back if you feel like you're really trying to tense it right now and hold it up long. Just try to relax maybe here. Oh, maybe let out audible exhale. And another inhale, slowly lifting the body back up. We'll come to find a nice, easy seated pose to close off practice with. So maybe coming to a cross-legged position, maybe bringing your hands to your knees or turning the palms upward, maybe even finding a mudra with your fingers touching each other. We'll take a nice deep inhale, rising tall through the crown of the head and the spine. And a slow exhale out, maybe just allowing the eyes to close or gaze to soften for a moment here. Relaxing through the face. And just envisioning maybe your day ahead. What kind of attitude you'd like to carry. Just preparing yourself mentally for what's to come, while also releasing any expectations, not bringing any judgment to what does unfold and what does occur. Another deep inhale, filling up your body, filling up your mind with thoughts of gratitude and thanks for showing up today for yourself, for doing something for your body, mind, and soul. Exhale, release. One more deep inhale. We'll reach the arms overhead. Nice stretch, palms together. And exhale, maybe just bringing your hands to heart center and a gentle bow to yourself. I thank you so much for joining me today on the mat. It's always such a pleasure to flow with you, and I hope to do it again soon sometime. I wish you a wonderful day ahead. Peace.
Bye. Thank you.
See ya.